Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll open some other lightning component. Let's say welcome to lightning. Okay, and there in the documentation resource, I'll work on this and prepare a document for this welcome to lightning component. So what will I do is in the description, this text is within description tag. Okay, this text is within description tag. In the Aura example, let's use two Aura example. One Aura example with the name example name. So let's refer to registration component in the first one, or let's refer to the welcome to lightning component. Okay, let me fine, and then the reference to the lightning component, which is in the C namespace with the name welcome to lightning, and label for this my first lightning component example description. So let's just give it to description for example description. So example description for welcome to lightning component example. The next example that I'm going to use will refer to the registration form that we developed, registration form. So it will refer to the registration form component that we have developed, registration component in the C namespace, and the label registration form with some description, example description for a registration form. All right, so my Aura documentation or my documentation resource is ready for welcome to lightning. Let me view this documentation. So the question is how to view it. Okay, I have this Aura documentation tag. Within this Aura documentation, some description. Okay, I've just added some text over here. You can add whatever you want or whatever is required. And then Aura example. In first example, I'll be referring to this welcome to lightning component in my documentation, and in the second example I'll be referring to the registration form that we have developed. So this component, I have referred this component in the second example. Let's see how to preview this. Open a new tab, and before that just copy your domain from the URL and paste it, then .lightning.force.com/auradocs/reference.app. So this is the URL that you need to hit to check your preview. First comes your domain, then lightning.force.com/auradocs/reference.app. So hit this URL. Okay, so this is the Aura documentation. I want to see the documentation for my component in the C namespace with the name Welcome to Lightning. C. First, it shows the overview, the description, whatever you write in the description tag. This text is within the description tag. This is what we wrote, and it's coming over here. Okay. Then source. This is the source. This is the source code in the Aura component. Then dependencies. If it has any dependencies, it will show. So we have implemented all these interfaces. Okay. Now examples. In examples, you remember we defined 2 examples. So my first Lightning component, this is the label that we used. This spelling is wrong. Okay, my first Lightning component, then whatever we wrote within that Lightning tag, within that example or example tag, or a description for Welcome to Lightning component example will be displayed over here. And then the output, the visual output. So for my first Lightning component, this visual output is only text1. Okay, you can see the component source, you can see the documentation source as well. So this is the output for the example 1. If you scroll down, you can find the other example, registration form. Again, this is the text within the Aura example tag. You have various tabs over here. So registration form for student. This is the preview of your component. Okay, component source. You can have a look at the component source. And then all your documentation source and all that can be previewed. As I told you, this is interactive. So if you click on this checkbox, it will show. That's great. Happy learning. See, you can interact with this visual output. Okay, so that's how the documentation resource help us in creating the documentation for our component, so that we can describe, we can make it helpful for others to use, or you can make others to understand what you have implemented in your build. Okay, so now we have understood the usage of this documentation resource. Let's talk about the renderer resource now.